As we know, the Season 5 update for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has just been released. I've been playing it for a little bit now, and it's safe to say that although I was incredibly hyped for this one, as it promised new features such as taxi missions and the introduction of poker, new vehicles, and a major graphics and optimization overhaul, it's safe to say that I am a little bit underwhelmed, frustrated, and just generally disappointed. It's safe to say it hasn't delivered. So, what happens next? Now before we continue, it's quite important to announce that there is a hot fix coming next week on November 10th. This fix should be critical for some users. There's also the completely broken HDR, which you will see, that basically blinds everyone like it's a vintage Call of Duty game flashbang. And it's even gotten to the point that some of the players haven't even been gifted with the Lamborghini Urus that they've earned. Overall, it is not a bad update. The ideas they had were really good, and they introduced some features that I genuinely like. Let's start off with the power struggle and the graphic issues. I have never hated the original look of Solar Crown. I was always more concerned about the performance. Over time the performance did improve, but now with all these new updates, especially this graphics and shading one, it has struggled again. I was averaging about 80 FPS on my system, and you could definitely tell that that wasn't consistent. It may go up to 90, it may go down to 50, you never really knew. I honestly don't think the game plays as well as it did before. One of the first things I noticed was when I got to the Solar Hotel lobby, some of the cars hadn't even fully rendered yet, and they looked like blobby messes. It's insane that this is happening again. We are now 13 months into the release of Solar Crown, and some of these issues are still persistent. On the bright side, they added cruise control, which is a neat necessary feature, especially when it comes to the new taxi missions. I quite like the taxi missions, they're fun, very challenging, and require a serious amount of patience and attention. But you are rewarded generously for it if you do good and earn a 5-star rating. So you can essentially double the reward. I managed to pull over 60,000 credits out of an original 30,000 credit job. And it's not just go from point A to B. The passengers will talk about what sort of music they would rather listen to and how you need to drive really fast or really slow. It depends how hungover they are. One guy basically, while I was playing, was saying that he was very sick, so we had to take our time. This, alongside the previously added delivery missions, are very promising features, and they definitely add more depth and life to the world. Now, onto the casino. They finally added poker. It's a well needed feature, as the slot machines got boring quite fast. With the poker, there's a lot of waiting around, but let's be fair, just like the real game of poker, the main issue is that you need other players around you. If you want to play and the casino is empty, you're in trouble. The game itself, again, did have some issues where I basically played a whole round of poker without actually knowing what my cards were, but other than that, the game has proven to be quite fun, and it's potentially a good source of income if you can play your cards right. Not to mention that there are some construction sites and changes to the world to make it look more true to life, and these construction sites are a potential hint of houses that could be coming next year. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Now let's get on to the core problem I have had with Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. As someone who has defended this game and someone who has supported it, and it's, to be fair, let me down quite a lot, all of the features that they've added since are great ideas. But the same thing always bothers me. There's no sense of polish. This isn't just a Solar Crown issue. Even TDU2, a game that you and I really liked, severely lacked polish. It was one of its major criticisms when it launched, and most of those major flaws were fixed through official updates and several years later by a group of passionate modders. Is there a problem with testing among Nacon, or is there even larger issues at stake? Why weren't features like the taxi and delivery missions thrown in at launch? They would have helped significantly with the grind economy, and therefore fewer players would have been as frustrated when the game launched and they realised they had to put about 1,000 hours just to get a half decent car. Like too many other games at launch, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown felt half-baked. The thing is that many of us agree with is that all of the current features should have been included at launch, as they were in the previous Test Drive Unlimiteds. Hindsight says that the developers should have delayed the game by another year. I would have been okay with that. Several other players would have been okay with that too. It's just frustrating because I really wanted this game to succeed. Looking at how this game performed during the closed beta, which I was part of, as well as just the general launch of it all, I'm starting to think even if the game was delayed another year, do you think that the game could have been smoother? It's really hard to know. Now let's get on to the online only requirement. This was a disaster waiting to happen. The developers at Nacon were given an open goal. After the backlash with the crew when it got shut down, surely someone could have stepped in and said, guys, this isn't a good idea, we need an offline mode. While we now have offline races, it softens the blow, but this online only trend needs to end. As a result, this game has suffered severely because of it. My advice to the developers is simple. Prioritize refinement, prioritize polish. If a feature is going to be negatively affecting performance, leave it out for a bit until you can get it to work properly. This game is one that I generally thought could have been the saving grace of the franchise, but it's not looking like that right now. If these updates don't appear more often, there's more hotfixes on a weekly basis, and more players don't try the game again, the future of Solar Crown could be in serious doubt. So after my long tangent, what do you think? Have you tried out the update? How much do you think the upcoming hotfix will actually resolve? And do you think it will have an immediate effect on the future of the game? If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment down below your thoughts. And also don't forget to hit that bell icon as well so you can get notified about future uploads. And finally, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all very soon.